Hey, how you doing? This is Jason Callan with number 84 in my list of the most underappreciated movies of all time in the history of the world. Now this one was I just saw on TCM, Turner Classic Movies on the Underground, which is late Friday nights. It's a movie called Corvette Summer. Now it starred Mark Hamill, and the one wild thing about this is I don't know if this is before or after or during his probably most important role he ever did, which was playing Luke Skywalker in the first three and the best of the first three Star Wars movies. Now he did Corvette Summer right around the time he did the first Star Wars, and then he did the night the lights went out in Georgia, which I'd never seen. He played like a cop or something like that around the same time also. I don't know if that's before or after. And it's ironic that the first three Star Wars movies, now you all know this is Parts 4, 5, and 6 now. And then the next of the three Star Wars movies are 1, 2, and 3. That's just kind of weird how that works out. Well, anyways, Mark Harmon's in this, and Mark Hamill. I keep wanting to say Mark Harmon. Mark Hamill's in it. And it's about a school that goes to junkyard to get a car. It's like the auto shop, and then they refurbish a car and make it brand new, which is, in a way, it's a real shame because this was made in the 70s. Nowadays the schools can't afford to do stuff like that. Now this is the States, and I know that in other countries, I don't know how your schools are and how strapped for cash you guys are, but we're given a list of stuff to buy for your kids, and there's toilet paper lists. So you have to buy toilet paper for your school, for your kids to go to school. That's insane. We never had that back then. I remember in elementary school they used to give us these ugly black tablets, composition paper. That's what it just says, composition paper. In elementary school, basically you just had to bring like pencils. And then, in middle school you might have to bring tablets or trapper keepers or pencils and stuff like that. You had to put a dust cover on your book and stuff. That's probably about it. You might have to buy a compass for math class, and that was it. You don't have to buy toilet paper and all these other supplies that you should already have in the school. That's a shame because that's the way schools are strapped for cash now. Well, anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent again. But anyways, they get this body frame of a Corvette and they take it to their body shop. And the kids, Mark Hamill, he's the guy who started it. He helps refurbish it and becomes a great Corvette Stingray car, right? It's a beautiful car. And they takes it out, and then eventually it gets stolen. And then some guy says he sees it in Las Vegas. So they go to he hitchhikes to Las Vegas to try to get this car. And along the way he meets a girl who wants to be a prostitute and she's played by Annie Potts, which is really weird because she looks so young in this movie, because later on Annie Potts became famous for being a redhead on the show Designing Women. And then she also became famous in those popcorn commercials where she eats popcorn real seductively. And they really pushed the envelope on those commercials, trying to make it look as provocative as they could back then. This is in the early 90s. When I was still in Fort Bragg, I remember the commercials. Well, anyway, she was a redhead and she had her own look in this. In this one, she's a brunette and she doesn't look anything like she looked that she got famous for, Well, anyway, she played like a prostitute, or a would-be prostitute. And her and Mark Harmon, she picked him up and then she kicked him out, and then he goes back and forth from job to job trying to find this car, an elusive car. And he runs into car thieves and stuff like that. And him and that girl, tried to find the car, and eventually during the last half hour, it gets a little bit overboard and weird, but who doesn't go overboard nowadays? You know what I mean? I went overboard a little while ago, but that's just me. I didn't mean to. Well, anyways, it's a great movie. It's a very entertaining movie, and it's pretty clean for PG-rated. A little bit of swearing and stuff like that. It's just not that funny, but it's very entertaining. I think you all like the movie. It's not a bad show. And basically, it's about him trying to get the car back. And along with that, there's Danny Bonducci from the Partridge Family's in it, and then character actor Brian James in it, and then one of my favorite cult character actors, Dick Miller. who became famous for being in the Joe Dante movies like Gremlins and stuff like that. And he used to be a player for the American International. He's had a good role in this. But usually he just has like one role or one scene and then he's out. But he always makes the movie. It's very good. So I think you really enjoy this movie. It's very entertaining and very interesting, you know. My dad says it's a kid's movie, so I mean, you know, it's PG rated. It's a good movie, and you know, it's just a fun movie, you know, to go see. So, hey, check out Corvette Summer, number 84 in my list of the most underappreciated movies in the history of the world. Cheers and stay metal.